Hey there, it's Dave Orso. Welcome to another episode of The Real Deal in Annapolis Real Estate. Today, I want to talk to you about how we evaluate waterfront property and how I work with my clients to evaluate it. And what I've come up with is a triangle, okay? And I call it the Waterfront Trifecta because I'm measuring three things. And the quality of these three things will determine the value of the property today and probably the value of the property forever, okay? So three different things I'm evaluating. First, the quality of the water, okay? Well, what goes into the quality of the water? Not all waterfront is created equally. Where we're shooting today, my backdrop is the Magothy River, okay? I'm about 4 feet water depth here. So what does that mean? It means you're probably not gonna get a sailboat in. It means we're gonna have direct exposure to the water, to the river, okay? So it's gonna be a little bit rougher. We're not in a creek, okay? So it's not very protected. It's gonna require different things than if you were back in a creek or maybe had deep water, where you're going to need a lift. You're also going to need to take a look at the quality of the pier. Are there any repairs required for the shoreline? The quality of the water really, really, really matters. Just because you have big views or just because you have westerly exposure and amazing sunsets, it's not everything to consider. You really need to take into consideration the quality of the waterfront, okay? So that's the first pillar. The second piece of the triangle, whatever you want to call it, is quality of the neighborhood. All right, so waterfront housing, waterfront real estate really isn't that much different than other real estate from the standpoint of it's important to be in a good community, okay? The old saying, location, location, location. Buyers of waterfront property still show great deference when it comes to what school system am I in? Is it a neighborhood I can go walking in? Are there other neighbors here? Are the neighbors on top of me? So just because you might have amazing waterfront views or amazing waterfront, the quality of the neighborhood will still come into consideration for home buyers when they're thinking about buying a waterfront property, okay? So if you're going to buy a home in a high quality neighborhood that happens to be waterfront, naturally the value will go up. There's plenty of spot lots that lack community but do have waterfront. The value would go down, okay? So those are the first two pieces. Now the third piece of the triangle, the waterfront trifecta, would be the quality of the house, all right? So waterfront, great community, may not win the day if the house hasn't been updated or it's a 1940 or 1950 small Cape Cod, which was the derivation of many of the waterfront properties in Anne Arundel County because we were a cottage community for the metro areas. So when a waterfront buyer goes to look at a home, they actually still care about the quality of the home. So has the kitchen been updated? How many beds and baths are there? The lot size, all the other sort of markings of a quality house need to be in place. Now, as it relates to value, it's kind of like those three things add up and then there's an equal sign and on the other side is the value. Naturally, if you only get one of the three, the value will be, call it X. If you get two of the three, the value will be X plus probably about $500,000. If you get all three, it's going to be more like X plus $1 million. So I hope that is valuable to you. That's what I think of when I go to a waterfront property, and that's how I try to educate my clients to review and assess properties. It's very easy in waterfront to fall in love with big views, but you got a crappy house. It's very easy to fall in love with an amazing house. It could even be new construction, but it sits on a foot of water in a swamp. That's not gonna work either. So you do need to be careful. And what I would suggest to you is you use my formula, the waterfront trifecta, and look at the quality of the house, the quality of the neighborhood, and the quality of the water. Assess within those three categories, and then you'll land at fair market value. Hey, thanks for tuning in for another episode of The Real Deal in Annapolis Real Estate. My goal is to provide valuable content for anyone thinking of buying or selling in the Annapolis area or anybody that's just obsessed with real estate. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode about the waterfront trifecta. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.